Welcome back to The Voice of Students, powered by Onada.
Local part-time jobs.
So, in addition to these news reporters being able to post fake information, like in those supermarket magazines, do you think that this should be stopped? Like, do you think it's fair that for all these years, these magazines are still in business and can still continue doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've been getting less attention as of late because now everyone just knows, like, these are fake. We can get our news from other sources. But kind of like what Val was saying before, the reason that there are paparazzi pictures, the reason they make those stories is because people are still buying them and people are still interacting with it. So, like, if we don't interact with it and we don't support it, like, there's going to be no business need for them to be putting out these fake stories. So it's like, they should be stopped, but we have the power to stop them.
There's a big difference between, like, if somebody says something that's not necessarily true, but it doesn't really, like, do anything,
Right.
versus, like, when somebody, you know, is, like, attacking or like, making, like, charges against somebody that aren't founded, or I think it's even worse, way worse, in political stuff, when people say things that are not true. You're purposefully misinforming people on things that are either going to affect somebody's reputation and livelihood or, like, the welfare of people in general. And I think that's a very bad thing. It surprises me how many, like, you know, unfounded or, like, fake statistics people will put out.
Do any of you subscribe to any of these magazines? Like, do you get, like, People or Lifetime or any of those magazines just delivered to your house?
Not even one.
I used to have Nat Geo, I guess.
Have you ever purchased one in the store? Not the fake ones, not the ones that are fabricating information, but the normal ones. Like, have you ever purchased, like, an InStyle magazine or...
If Demi Lovato was on the cover, yeah. But that's about it.
Like, if I were to read a magazine, it would probably be like maybe even GQ and stuff like that. I would just go on the website itself.
So would you agree that, like, print magazines should probably move more to online, since most people find their information online?
Yeah.
Considering, like, the New York Times, Huffington Post, everything is online now, so all you have to do is, like, Google it.
Yeah, I feel like the good news sources know that they need to have an online presence. Like, the print media is it as popular as it used to be? No, there's still a need for it.
Right.
But I just like doing it online. Like, I don't want to save the trees.
Yeah, it's less expensive and it's way more convenient. Like, if I don't have to pay for the newspaper, I'm not going to. And when you have, like, alternative sources for things, like when you're hearing all the things from Twitter or from, like, other people talking about things online anyway, then why am I going to buy a newspaper to, like, pay for it to read it if I could just hear it from other people online? So if you put it online, I think people will, like, take things more seriously.
Would you ever consider doing an online subscription to a magazine or a news source or...
No.
Yeah, I think for the same reason though, I wouldn't, because, like, everything, like, I can hear so much about it online already from other things that I don't have to pay for, and I'm not, like, I don't have a lot of money.
If it's free, it's for me.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about different TV shows, like channels like E, that are providing this celebrity gossip and the celebrity information? Like, do you think it's true? Do you think they do a good job at it?
There's some shows that are actually good on E, like Daily Pop, love that. I think they do a great job. Busy Phillips, missed me with that. And then Lady Gang, also really like that.
Sorry, ladies, our guest this week is officially off the market and may or may not be putting a ring on it soon. He's one of our favorites and would get a rose from us any day. He's a sweetheart and the only person from the Bachelor franchise all the many years that Becca Tobin cares about. Yep. She's been talking nonstop about you. She's been worried about you. So many things. Everyone, please welcome to Lady Gang, our guy, Colton!
I think they do a pretty good job because they have to be held so accountable, because, like, if they say anything wrong, and, like, they're friends with a lot of these celebrities, so I feel like they're doing a good job. They're probably holding back on some gossip just because they know all these people, but I enjoy watching them when I can.
And hopefully, like, they stick to the journalism integrity and stuff like that. And then going back to, like, fake news, I feel like it's a very thin line between, like, censorship and, like, freedom of speech of what should not exist. And I feel like it's more like our responsibility to be informed on how to check the sources and what exactly are you reading, rather than, like, the publishers themselves.
You think there's a way to filter out all this negative news? Like, is there a way to actually stop this, or do you think it's just going to continue?
I think I think kind of like what Val was saying, the biggest thing is, or like the easiest, most reasonable thing, solution for it is, reader knowledge. Being informed as a reader to know, oh, this is kind of sketchy, versus, oh, this feels good. This sounds like, oh, the sources are good. They come from like credible locations and things like that. There's not a lot of conflicting words about what this person is saying, so I should trust them, versus whatever you hear first is what goes kind of thing, or just believing whatever you read on the internet. Like it's the joke, oh, everything you read on the internet isn't true. But then a lot of people, if you see something on the internet, you kind of take it at face value, at least for a bit, especially if it's like the only thing you've seen about it.
What was something that you read in a magazine that really stuck with you?
I just remember where I was when TMZ broke the story that Demi Lovato had a relapse, and they screwed up some of the details, which were later corrected like 24 hours later, but like in that breaking story, when I'm just like, I need to figure out what's going on, and I need to know like all the live updates, and they got that one part of the story wrong, and like I remember looking at 20 other different websites, and every single article was like, as TMZ reported, I'm like, I need another source, it can't just be one, I can't just take this at face value. And sometimes in those types of situations, it takes longer for the information to come out, and we're in a now culture where it's like, I want to know about this now, I need to read it now. Right. How can we get it out fast? So like magazines are trying to balance that with like, hey, we're gonna throw out this story, we didn't really vet everything that much, but like we want to be the first person to break it, so like we can be on the market first.
That's how I felt about, actually probably the only example I can think of is TMZ and Chester Bennington after his suicide. I mean, I was really shocked by the news, but at the same time, when I saw like the TMZ, I was like, oh, hopefully it's like fake, hopefully it's not true, and I was waiting for like other sources to report on that as well. And then it was like a bunch of like friends, like I was with my friend group who all grew up listening to Linkin Park, so it was really shocking for us.
How connected did you feel to the individual person when this was happening? Did you feel like this was one of your friends or your family member?
Absolutely. Like 15 people were like texting me and they're like calling me, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay, don't ask. So I took it a little too seriously. It's fine, we're all good now.
And we're gonna take a quick break.
We'll be right back.